Hi, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be hiking the George B. Will Trail. It's a cross-country ski trail. The sign says 5.6 miles in length. I think I've done it once. I think it was about closer to 6 miles. But here's the sign, George B. Will Trail. Brings you back out over there when you come back around. This is your parking lot. Nothing spectacular. It probably holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 cars, maybe 10, depending on how big they are. And there's another trail here, the Laurel Path Trail, pump station. I've never been on that. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go. But this is going to head back into here, right that way. Again, there's your sign, parking area, and it just cuts back in like this. As you can see, we have several inches of snow. A lot more than I was hoping for. So this ought to be a good exercise today. That's all I can say is definitely going to get some good exercise today. This trail is pretty well marked. There's signs along it, but it has blue blazes pretty much the whole way. And from what I remember of the first time I did it, it intersects with the Black Forest Trail at some point, and you kind of follow a double blaze for a little while in there too, before you come to one of those fenced in areas that you have to cut through. But yeah, from what I remember, it's pretty well marked with blue blazes. We had no problem following it the first time I did it. Oh, Benji, this snow is way deeper than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping for about 3 inches. Instead, I think we got 5 or 6. That's all right. It's going to be a good day. We're currently at the 1.2 mile marker based on my Outdoor Active app. And brings you to this road or driveway. I'm not sure what it is, but definitely has snowmobile tracks on it. And based on the orange sign right there, it's definitely snowmobile approved. And there's a camp right there as well. So I have to assume this is some sort of a back road or a dirt road, but it's also a snowmobile trail. But yeah, currently based on the Outdoor Active app, we're at 1.2 miles, and you cut across this road right by this camp right here. From what I remember, this is one of the only camps you see, if not the only one. This is a pretty remote section of trail, and you don't deal with too many camps. Other than that, you're going to cross the main road here in a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what the mile marker is on that, but I'll let you know when we get there. Again, very well marked. There's a sign over there that says the George Will Trail, and the blue blazes are all over the place. So it's really hard to get lost on this. Really well marked trail. All right, here we come to the road crossing. This is where the snowmobile trail comes through. The road that we crossed earlier is right there. There's a sign. There's a Refugee Trail to George B. Will Ski Trail to Black Forest Trail. That's what that sign says. Then you have this that says the George B. Will Ski Trail right here. Currently like 1.3. Come on, Bubba. 1.4 miles at this point. Sign, again, very well marked. And it just cuts in right here. Again, 1.3, 1.4 miles, give or take. Outdoor Active, usually pretty accurate, but not 100% perfect all the time. You know, I can use it and my girlfriend can use it, the same trail. And there'll be little differences, but for the most part, they're usually pretty close. And I guess we have a down tree right here too. That's new from last time. And we have been following a set of ski tracks, so somebody's done this since it snowed. Last time I was on it, there was snow and there hadn't been any ski tracks. We found a lot of bare spots along it too, so maybe because it's deeper this time, won't have, there's not going to be the bare spots that there was last time. But again, very well marked, real scenic trail. I'm not sure what it's like to hike, in the summertime or anything like that, but at least for the winter time, it's kind of nice. It's relatively flat. I don't remember any hills, anything like that. And I'm not the epitome, or I don't know the correct terminology, but I'm not the most fit person in the world, let's put it like that. I can get up to 1,000-foot climbs, but it kicks my butt. Just like hiking this deep snow kicks my butt. I couldn't imagine doing a 1,000-foot climb in 6 inches of snow. So I seem to do well on these ski trails so far in the snow. I'll save all the climbing for spring, summer, and fall when there's no snow on the ground. I'm Benji P. But he really likes running in the snow. He's got the fur for it. He likes to lay down, roll over. You gonna roll over? Benji loves playing in the snow, making doggy snow angels. I'm Bubba. So, yeah, Blue Blaze is still marked the trail, and I'm gonna keep trudging along to the next intersection. At some point, actually at a down tree, the ski tracks went away. And it's weird because I don't remember seeing, didn't look like double, but maybe they just went down and turned around and went back to the exact same tracks, I guess. Probably wouldn't be able to tell. But anyway, come to this really cool pine tree tunnel on this little ridge. Snow is pretty deep back there, but I like these. When you come up on these, they're just like snow tunnels. They look really cool in the winter time. Seen a bunch of deer tracks and stuff like that too. But I just figured I'd show you all this tunnel because this looks really cool in my opinion. And it's been, it's flurrying a little bit right now, but it's been a little while since we got this snow. And the pine trees are all holding it really well. I just really like these snow tunnels in the winter time. Benji seems to be getting pretty lucky too. He's not falling through the whole way most of the time, so he's able to stay up on the snow a little bit. I realize it seems like it, but there's definitely a little bit of a crust underneath where he'd be dragging his belly if he wasn't staying up a little bit. In some of the spots, that is. I think we're coming up on, looks like this might be like a snowmobile road or something. The gate's still up though, so who knows. Definitely been some tire tracks back here. They've been plowed at some point. They might be building a well pad back there or something at some point. Who knows, this might even be somebody's camp. You never know until you go back, but I don't like going back stuff that I'm not sure of, because people can be funny about private property, and I don't blame them. You don't come up here for privacy and seclusion for nothing. So yeah, you cross this little road and right back up into the woods here. There's some deer tracks. And at this point, you're pretty much running right along the road. You can hear it, but really can't see it. So I think you do this for a very short period of time before you cut back in. It seems like there's a bunch of deer tracks here too, so Here's another intersection. Pine Bog Trail. I guess the 2.2 mile circuit heads that way. Maybe that's where we've lost the ski tracks. And there's another set right here. They didn't cut through there. Maybe they know something I don't, where they cut over somewhere where that tree was. There might be a way to cut over to it that they just know about. It seemed like I lost them right at a point where it was real muddy underneath the snow, we'll call it. But there's a sign for that. And Sentiero de Shea Trail as well. And that's where we came out of right there. And you basically make a left to stay on the George B. Will Trail. And I guess it intersects with this Sentiero de Shea Trail too. Again, very well marked. Blue blazes everywhere. Really don't have any problems following it at all. So, hope you try it sometime. Whether you're hiking or just out for a cross-country ski. Not something I've ever done, but it looks like fun sometime. I may have to try it. This is the next intersection you come up to. Not that far from the last one. This is where we come from. George B. Will Trail. I'm going to cut over here to the left a little ways and basically a Y. And that Sentiero de Shea Trail just pretty much stays straight. I've never done that, so I'm not sure what that's like, but yeah, pretty much we're going to cut here to the left and go from there. See what this sign up here says. Okay, sign says Black Forest Trail, so I guess you can pick up a Black Forest Trail down that way too. I know here in a little bit we'll be picking it up off of the George B. Will Trail as well. So I'm going to stick to what I know, stick to the George B. Will Trail, and I'll let you know when we pick up the Black Forest Trail. This is the next intersection you come to. It's not really an intersection for this because you do just stay straight, but it basically crosses the Dugan Log Trail. It goes from there to there. Coming from back there, I'm just going to stay straight and follow the blue blazes for the George Will Trail. Again, this is all very well marked. First time we did it, had no issue following the trail. And to be perfectly honest, it's been a while since we did it. I think we did it back in like December. So it's not like I exactly remember the direction in which I'm going. I am using my Outdoor Active app. We're at about the 2.7 to 2.8 mile marker as far as that goes. The trail is on the Outdoor Active app. There's a bunch of trails that kind of crisscross on it though. So, I mean, if you have a map of the area, the Purple Lizard maps that I have this on it. That's actually how I initially found it. I saw the sign and was able to look it up on the Purple Lizard maps. And, you know, it's on the Outdoor Active, so it seems to be a pretty popular trail, at least as far as being marked. And for the most part, it's well maintained. I mean, there's not exactly a bunch of blow down trees on it or anything like that. So they must take care of it pretty well. Again, I've only ever done it in the snow though, so I don't know what it's like in the summertime. But just don't see a bunch of trees down, and that usually is a sign of you know, people walking along this at some point and, you know, with the chainsaw and cutting the trees down or cutting the trees up, because there were definitely trees at some point across it. They're just cut. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trudging along. Again, we're about the 2.8 mile marker at this point when you come to that intersection. For some reason, I'm thinking it was pretty much 6 miles the last time we did it, even though the sign says 5.6. You know, an app on your smartphone isn't always perfect, but I do like using it because it usually assures that I'm not going to get lost and I can find my way back to where I'm at. You know, if you get all spun around and don't even know which direction you parked at, you can at least have an idea. Even if you find roads, you can get on a road, you know, look and find the direction you need to go to find your way back. So whether you're using your smartphone or an actual GPS, it's always good to have something in an area you don't know. I mean, I would use it on some of the trails back where I'm from, but the reality is I knew those trails so well, I didn't need to. I knew every place you could get out onto a road and every which way back. Up here, not so much. And that's one of the reasons why I use it so much up here. Even though I've done trails and stuff, you know, sometimes you don't know how far it is back one way. You know, the other day I did the one ski loop. It's only 2.5 miles. And just let you know, at least when you've hit the halfway point, you know, if something were to happen, you know, do I turn around and go back? Or do I keep going? You know, at least gives me the ability to know at that point what's closer to get back. Whether or not I need to turn around and go back, or whether or not I keep trudging along, if I've hit the halfway point yet or not. You know, I still haven't learned a lot of that stuff up here. And that all takes time. But it's always good to have some sort of tracking device, you know, so you don't get lost. And always tell somebody where you're going. You know, my girlfriend knows where I'm at. She has a rough idea of the time it takes to get here, how long I figured it would take me to do the trail, and how long it would take me to get home. And basically, if she doesn't hear from me by the time she gets off work, she knows where I'm supposed to be, and she can come looking, because there really is no cell service along this. I think at one point there is an overlook along the Black Forest Trail, and for some reason I think we were able to pick up a bar last time where she was able to check the home camera, the camera at home. But you know, if that's the case, I'll shoot her a text, let her know that I made it to that point and everything else. You know, but it's always good to have some sort of a device for that. They have a bunch of different satellite communication devices online, from the Spot to, there's another one, I can't think of it, that seemed really nice. And honestly, in an area like this, might not be a half bad idea to have. I actually watched a video the other day. The guy was talking about, you know, the new iPhone, how it has satellite communication, you know, for 911 emergency. And well, it's probably better than nothing. He still recommended the satellite communicator, and you know, probably not a half bad idea, because the one, I can't think of the name of it that he showed, but he was able to actually link to his smartphone and text through it and stuff. So, you know, just to be able to give waypoints and, what do you say, leave breadcrumbs, you know what I mean? So if something were to happen, they can have a pretty good idea of where he last reported. So, all right, I'll quit rambling and keep on walking. Let you know when I get to the next intersection, and give you a heads up of how that looks. Just as a reference, this is the way I came in. This is a really soggy spot going through here. This seems to be the worst one so far. I'm up on the side. It's still doable, but I can only imagine how soggy it would be in the summertime with no snow and non-semi-frozen ground underneath. Because up here it doesn't seem to come much above freezing too often. Well, this year I guess a decent amount, but it was I think 31 degrees when I got here at noon. So yeah, for the most part when I'm traveling up here, it's right around freezing so far this year. Again, this is a bad year, but this is an FYI. Definite muddy spot through here. At one point along the trail, you go through a swampy area, and there's these old metal, I guess, doors, the old metal garage doors of some sort they use for bridges that you use to cross over some of the real swampy areas. It's pretty cool. We're back to another part that nobody's been on. So, snow's really deep. And it's going to take me a little longer to do this than what I thought. But that's alright. The mileage may be a little higher on the active, outdoor active too today because my steps aren't as long as what they usually are. But keep trudging along and we'll get through it. Hopefully it'll only take us about 3.5 hours max. Here we are at the intersection of the George B. Will Trail and the Black Forest Trail. Came from back there in the George B. Will Trail. Black Forest Trail comes down from that way. We're pretty much going to go that way. So looking at this, Black Forest Trail pretty much runs like that. And you're now going to pick up the orange blaze for the Black Forest Trail. It's pretty much just wide to the left. And go from there. But yeah, pretty much where we came from. This is where we're going to go. I don't think we're on this too long, maybe a mile. I actually have to check real quick, and I should have done that before I started the video and see exactly where we're at mileage wise. Last time I looked we were about 3.5 though, so somewhere around 3.5 miles is where you're going to intersect. I'll check when I'm done recording this part, and I guess get back to you if it's much off of the 3.5, but it's right around 3.5 I think, to where you intersect with the Black Forest Trail. No, I was wrong. It's about the 3.8 mile marker. This is where we just intersected with the Black Forest Trail back there. It's about 3.8 miles. Then we'll continue on. I'll show you. I think the next point we'll probably get to is the lookout. So I'll show you guys that. This is pretty much the overlook you get. Trail just kind of comes through all the shrubs there, and I think there's a better view up ahead for some reason. Just not 100% sure. I don't know how well this would be, or how good of a view this would be in the summertime when everything's all grown up, but it's a decent view, at least standing here now. I do think there's a better one up ahead, but it's really not marked on any map or anything like that, and I saw that spot. I just want to make sure that I at least show some sort of view. This overlooks the valley and over the next mountain. I'm just like I said, I'm not 100% sure if this is it or not. I mean, I know it wasn't exactly the greatest view in the world when we did this the first time, but it's kind of like this. I mean, you can kind of see what I'm seeing now the whole way along this part. It just seems like the sun's hit here a little more and been able to melt some of the snow. It's not as deep, so I'm able to make a little bit better time, a little easier walking. There are a few spots where, honestly, it's probably a foot deep. I was going through. Other spots, mostly anywhere from 5 to 6 inches. This is probably only about 2. So, walk is definitely a little easier through here. So yeah, you can see the blazes up here. You basically had an orange and a blue blaze. Follow this. Actually, I think this is the view. So, this is your view for this trail. Nothing crazy, but I'll take it. Then you just pretty much head back into these shrubs. And I'm not really good with plant names or anything like that, so I'm gonna have to brush up and do some research on what these things are actually called. If anybody knows, obviously leave a comment in the comment section. There's a bunch of these, pretty much walk through. So, pretty sure the next intersection you come up to is right before you gotta cut through the fenced-in area. So I'll definitely show you the gates on that and all that fun stuff when we get there. Alright, we just got to the overlook. I thought there was a decent one on here. Pretty much the trail's right there. There's just a little log here where you can come check it out. Again, this is along the Black Forest part of the trail. And that's the view you get right there. So, yeah, definitely worth the view. It's got a nice little bench here, a log bench. So you can have lunch and stuff like that. Like I said, a lot of people do backpack the Black Forest Trail. I think it's like one of the hardest trails in PA to do, 42 miles in length. One of these days I hope to do it. But anywho, that's the view for the trail, the best view on it. Right here we come to another intersection of the Refugee Trail, George B. Will Trail, and Black Forest Trail. Pretty sure the Refugee Trail is what's just straight based on the sign. Came from back that way. So we're going to want to bear right. Follow the blue and orange blazes here. And keep on moving. If I remember correctly, we should be coming upon the split where we basically leave the Black Forest Trail. And there's like a fenced in area with the yellow gates you have to go through, and we'll cut through one of those. There's 2 gates, one in, one out, and then basically back to the parking lot. It's been a fun adventure. I mean, we've been basically snow is from an inch to a foot deep, depending on where you're at and how the sun hit. And I'm assuming probably blue, because I don't think we ever got a foot of snow unless some of it just didn't melt from last time. So I'm assuming some of it was blown. But for the most part, we've been hiking in anywhere right around, I would say 6 inches, because my boots are about 6 inches tall, and it's right around the top of my boot, give or take. So, yeah, it's been fun. I'll update you whenever we get to the next intersection, though. Here we are at the intersection. Black Forest Trail is going to run you down that way. Really can't see it because it just looks kind of like a goat path, actually. Here's the sign. So we come from. Then we're going to head this way. We'll finish following the George B. Will Trail. Yeah, it's just kind of like a goat path down through there for the Black Forest Trail at that point. And right up here is where we come to the first gate we have to sneak through. These gates aren't terrible. I definitely prefer doing these when my girlfriend's with me. It makes it a lot easier because I can hold it for her, then she can hold it for me instead of having to duck through it. But this is the gate. Just swings open. Benji, come. Hold on. I kind of need 2 hands. Where's he at? Okay. Yeah, he just kind of sneaks through there. I don't know. For some reason, this looks way more bowed out than it did last time we were here. I don't know what the heck happened. That wasn't. The sides weren't bowed out like that the last time we came through here. But, anyway, who knows? But it's going to cut you through here to another gate. You go back through. And you're pretty much real close to the parking lot at that point. Picked up another set of ski tracks. I think they came from that Refugee Trail. The other tracks I was following, the snowshoe tracks, I think they went out the Refugee Trail. So people must use that trail to make shorter loops out of this stuff. And I don't blame them. I mean, I have a border collie / Australian Shepherd. Who needs the energy to run out of? Most people don't need to do the full loop. Here, I do it because it wears him out. And I guess some of it is I just like hiking with him. So, anyway, I guess I'll update you when we get to that next gate. Oh, and I forgot too, when the intersection back there and that where we went through the gate was about 5.3 miles into it. I'm at 5.4 now, that's why I'm considering about 5.3, somewhere around in there, just so you know. Here we come up on the next gate. I forgot to look at the mileage again, but maybe 0.4 of a mile through here, something like that. This gate works the same way. Swings both ways. Oops. I accidentally bumped the button trying to get the gate closed. We're going to leave Benji here. Benji likes to be left behind gates. Bye, Benji. Come on. Nah, you can't push through that. You're not big enough. Come on. There's Benji. So yeah, this is the fenced-in area. I don't know how big it is. You might be able to go around it for all I know. I've walked around one up here one time on the snowmobile trail just to check it out. And only a couple tents back to the parking lot. It's not very far from here. So yeah, snow's back to being really deep again. Definitely snowing out now. Nothing crazy. It's supposed to be raining though, so you're not going to hear any complaining from me. That's for sure. That's pretty much the extent of this George B. Will cross-country ski trail. Like I said, it's about 6 miles in length. The sign says 5.6. You know, my tracking app might be off a little bit, but based on that, it's like right around 6. Usually doesn't take this long. I mean, started at noon, it's 3:16 now, so we're already at 3 hours 15 minutes, give or take. And usually it's 2.5, 3 if you screw off at the overlook and you're just messing around. But yeah, that's pretty much the ski trail up here. Do one last clip when we get back to the parking lot where we crossed the road, give you an update on the total mileage for today, so on and so forth. So till then, something I actually forgot about when doing this, there's a trail register on here. When you do it counterclockwise, it's at the end. If you do it clockwise, it's at the very beginning. We're real close to cutting out onto the road of the parking lot. There's an old box here with a trail register. Nothing spectacular. There's some pens and a notebook in there. Or actually, I think it's just paper. It wants to know like where you're from, your name, how many in your party, stuff like that. I think direction of travel. So yeah, we'll be out on the road soon and back to the parking lot. Almost back to the parking lot at this point. Outdoor Active has us at 6.1 miles at this so far. So it's a little different than last time, but I'm not shocked. The snow's been a little more difficult to walk in. It's definitely slowed me down. Made me take way smaller steps and so on and so forth. Plus, I didn't video last time, and I've done a little bit extra back and forth with stuff, so that may be a little bit of it. We were like 275 feet of elevation decline or down, and I think it was like 220 up or something like that. About 3.5 hours to do it, and roughly 6 inches of snow. I mean, there were spots that were definitely more than 6 inches, and there were spots that were definitely less than 6 inches, but the vast majority of the walk's been about 6 inches of snow, give or take. So, not bad at all. It's been a fun little walk. Hope you guys get to come out and check out this trail someday. But here's the road we're coming up on. And there's the truck. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. Come check this place out sometime. It is really cool. Benji, come on. Hurry up. And hope you enjoy the video. Other than that, we're headed home to eat some cheeseburgers.